It can't be that loud. Om Jnana Timrandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Jatapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vitangscha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pongolang Hayate Girim Yat Kripatamahang Vande Sri Gurun Dinatarinam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Ananda Lila Maya Vigrahaya Himava Divyascha Visundaraya Tasmai Maha Prema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Hare Krishna. Yes, some question.
We have a question from Russia in humble obeisances from the pirates of Bertsk and Malini Didi. So I will start with a quote. Devotee asking Guru Maharaj, Guru Maharaja, I just have a personal question I would like to ask. I came over here intending to stay till Gaura Purnima and have your association, but I'm wondering lately if I'll be able to stay that long. And Srila Sridhar Maharaja responds, yes, you will have to do some service and sometimes staying here, sometimes doing service. To stay is not a physical thing. Body may be far away, but we may stay nearby only by our submission. Submission of a soul to another soul means association and not bodily association, the attitude. The attitude of a soul to another soul, that means the real association, not bodily closeness is association. End of quote. So they are asking, could Maharaja tell us more about such a feeling as submission to a Vaishnava? Can we express it at our level?
Well, he wouldn't be talking about it if it didn't apply to us. What would be the point? All of these things, they are relevant in some way. And I'm reminded, well, one of the last times that I was with Srila Guru Maharaj, he knew that, I knew that, so some of what he said was colored by that circumstance. And so knowing I'm unlikely to see him again in the conventional sense. So he referenced the parting of Rupa Goswami and Mahaprabhu. And then, of course, Rupa Goswami wants to be with Mahaprabhu. All of them want to be with Mahaprabhu. Besides what is obvious, we should also recall what is their level of love and affection for him. Right? We know in Krishna Lila, Atati yad bhavan anikananam tutirugayate tvamapasyatam kuntilu kundalam shimukam jate yada drikshisham pakshmakridrisham. That the Braja Gopis, they're cursing Brahma for, in the sense of creator, for the defects in his creation of making eyes that blink. Right? So we should understand, these are from one point of view, an analytical point of view, they're teenage girls. Right? And although we can understand that they're the most exalted devotees of Krishna, but that is how they are positioned. Guru Maharaj once said, and I can only say, quoting his words, he said, half-civilized, stupid jungle girls. And by he means like silly, the way teenage girls might appear. They appear that way. Right? Half-civilized, meaning they're from the lower section of society. You think the Brahmins, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. If you drew a line in the middle, that means the Vaishyas and the Shudras are in the lower section. So they're posing in the lower section of society. Rational thought we would think they would have to be Brahmins or super Brahmins or something like that. But that's not the nature of the Aprakrita Leela of Krishna. Right? So they're not queens, they're not even Brahmins, and they're in the so-called lower section of society, half-civilized. You know, they're not educated in the conventional sense, yet they know more than anyone. They have more heart than anyone. And we see when they appear in the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, like Jiva Goswami, what sort of scholarship, if service needs be, what sort of scholarship that they can manifest. But they are well-behaved, they understand what religious principles are, and yet they have the audacity, their hearts cannot contain the flow, the intensity of the flow of love they feel, so that they're criticizing the Creator. They're finding fault with him, saying, and we're not stupid, he's stupid. Why? He made eyes that blink. You say, how is that a fault? Saying, because when, like bees, honeybees, our eyes are drinking the liquid beauty of Krishna, then they blink. He doesn't know what he's done. Right? So they cannot tolerate the blink of an eye's separation from Krishna. And we're told, it's not just poetry or hyperbole, this is the intensity of what they feel, that the blink of an eye's worth of separation is intolerable. So as a baseline, then those same personalities will appear in Gaur Leela. Then we have some hint of what it means for them to be separated from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as enchanting as Krishna is, and he's supremely enchanting. Right? Brahma Sangita, Kandar Pakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. The Shobhan means beauty. What is the level of beauty and seductive charm, sweetness of Krishna? Kandar Pakoti Kamaniya. If you take 10 million cupids and personified as one, gives you a hint of the seductive charm, beauty, sweetness of Krishna. That is, we shall say, inconceivable. Yet these are the things that have been given to us to help us conceive that which is inconceivable. Right? Ad infinitum. That's what Kandarpa Koti, 10 million means ad infinitum. They just stopped at 10 million because that's about as far as the mind can go. So it then, how to improve on that? As Krishna, speaking of Cupid, Madan, another name for Cupid, Madan Mohan. As everyone in this world is bewildered by Cupid, Cupid is bewildered by the beauty, seductive charm of Krishna. That's Madan Mohan. And that Madan Mohan Krishna, better half, Madan Mohan Mohini, Srimati Radharani. As Krishna is all attractive and irresistible, he is irresistibly drawn in attraction by the love, affection, self-giving of Srimati Radharani. So much so that he wants to embrace her position. Right? Aparam kasyapi pranayi janavindasya kutuki. Kutuki means curiosity. Seeing her in the presence of 1 trillion other supremely qualified gopis, the absence of one drew Krishna's attention. That means she's greater than 1 trillion. And then he wondered, what is it like with that sort of, the heart that she has, the love and affection that she has, when she's viewing you, what is it? I can only understand it theoretically, but to feel that, I would have to become her. Radha Bhavaduti Subalita, enveloped in the heart and halo of Radharani, Krishna is experiencing Krishna consciousness, and Krishna consciousness of the highest type, Mahabhav. Mahabhav Swarupini Radha Thakurani. And the radiance of her heart has transformed young Shama Sundaram Achintaguna Swarupam, the inconceivably beautiful Shama Sundar Krishna. That means, let me say, black is, if it says Achinta, it means black, an inconceivable black or dark color. Achintya Guna Swarup. Everything we're dealing with, inconceivable. How to conceive the inconceivable? The inconceivable will reveal himself. As Guru, the infinite can make himself known to the finite. So that her radiance has changed Shama Sundar into Gauranga Sundar. Now he's Krishna, who's Shama Sundar, now he is resplendent like molten gold. Mentioned in the beginning of Chaitanya Charitamritam. And how, so it is impossible, I only say this for the sake of speaking, to frame it, to improve on the beauty of Krishna. But if you add to that, you combine Radha and Krishna together, it's unthinkable how beautiful Gauranga Mahaprabhu is. So Rupa Goswami writes in his Chaitanyastakam, Raso Dama Kamar Budama Durdamodrula Tunur, Jatinam Utanksas Tarani Vidyoti Basana, Hiranyanam Lakshmi Varana Bhivavang Angika Rucha, Sat Chaitanya Kime Punar Apidashorya Shativadam. When it says Hiranyanam Lakshmi Varana, Guru said, not ordinary gold. Some extraordinary, gold. If you've ever seen a gold bar, when they're selling them, or we've seen this in India. And they get handled, they're in a particular, in time the gold, I mean, it's obviously gold, but it might look a little matte or dull. So sometimes what they do, they'll take a knife and like cut, and when you see what it looks like, it's extraordinary. This kind of coruscating golden brilliance. So he's saying how much so that his golden color is making his cloth, his saffron cloth, glow. The sannyas vesh on Gauranga Mahaprabhu is glowing because of his golden radiance. Raso Dhamma Kamar Buddha, there's those 10 million cupids again. But in full-blown cupidity, saying this gives a hint of the sweetness of Mahaprabhu. Meaning the sweetness and beauty of his divine form. And Guru Maharaj says, Svarna Koti Darpanava Deho Varna Gauravam, like 10 million brilliant mirrors of gold, shining gold. Padma Parijata Gandha Banditanga Saurabham, Koti Kami Murchitangri Rupa Rasarangaram, Prema Dhamma Deva Meva Nomi Gaura Sundaram. And Guru Maharaj taking it in another direction, feeling that flow and that current, and then expressing something fresh and original, says, 10 million cupids will faint to see the beauty of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Sriman Dhrita Sado Pasya Sriman Dhrita Manuja Kaye Pranayitam Bahad Bi Girvane Girisha Parameshri Prabriti Bi Sab Bhaktevya Sudham Nijabhajana Mutra Mupadishan Sat Chaitanya Kame Punara Pidashorya Shativadam. And Rupa Goswami says, with these eyes will I see what I saw. I saw Brahma and Shiva disguised as human beings descend in this world to have a glimpse of the beauty of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Will I ever see that again? And so the sort of love in the heart of Rupa Goswami is unimaginable, but we can understand. Intense, and the thought of being separated from Gauranga Mahaprabhu is unbearable to the heart of Rupa Goswami, and some instances causing him to faint. And now Mahaprabhu has to say to Sri Rupa that, I want you to go to Vrindavan. And so it appears, that means separation. Rupa Goswami and being submissive, in submission to the order of Mahaprabhu, will have to leave, in this context, physical proximity, and be in Vrindavan, and Mahaprabhu will be in Jagannath Puri. But Mahaprabhu says to Rupa, as is being referenced by Srila Guru Maharaj here, that in following my order, by submitting to me, you'll realize my association. Right. So, Srila Guru Maharaj said, he gave the example of lice, otherwise known as bed bugs. They embed themselves in your skin. So he said, they could not be any more closely associated. Right? They're embedded in your skin. But is it the consciousness of the lie, which I believe is the singular? I check with the Oxford English Dictionary. The consciousness of the lie, lice, And he said, and your consciousness, they're worlds apart. Although they're embedded in your skin, they couldn't be nearer in terms of physical proximity. He said, whereas when there is this sort of submission, as we've seen in the case of Rupa Goswami, to the divine order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although there's apparently distance in terms of physical proximity and therefore separation or being located in two different places, actually they are together. So many times we heard Srila Prabhupada, Swami Maharaj say with regard to his Prabhupada, Srila Saraswati Thakur, that my Guru Maharaj is always with me. Right? Because why? He emptied himself of any other desire than the desire to fulfill the order of his Guru Dev, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. That is submission, and that brings about an unbreakable, irrevocable sort of association. So he's always feeling his presence. And not just saying so, but truly. And Srila Guru Maharaj says that a genuine disciple is always living in the proximity of his Gurudev, meaning through remembrance of the orders, the instructions. Right? It's a plane of consciousness. We always speak about Krishna consciousness. What is it if not a plane of consciousness? Right? And which is not, how do you say, inaccessible by being in a particular location. But that requires faith. Right? Guru Maharaj is always telling us, we need to learn to live in the world of our faith. Right? We're trying to establish ourselves in a world that even from a scientific point of view is vanishing before our very eyes. Our bodies are, what is the word? Like diminishing. Disintegrating. When you look at stop motion photography, and you'll see it's basically disintegrating. You know, growing and getting older and dwindling and dying, as is the world around us. Right? So Guru is saying, don't try to establish yourself in this plane, try to learn to live in the world of your faith. When Srila Prabhupada, what led him to Vrindavan even? Vilasatu Hridi Nityam Bhakti Siddhanta Vani. The voice, the order, the instructions of Srila Saraswati Thakur playing upon his heart. What does that mean? The poet said, the deep heart's core. Again, it's a plane of consciousness, heart. It means the most feeling plane of consciousness. It's our core, right? The deep heart's core, the voice of Srila Saraswati Thakur playing in that zone, right? And which leads him to leave his relatively simple life in Vrindavan and to get on an ocean liner and be out in the middle of the ocean. Right? and then what he writes, imagine, all you see on 1 minute you're in Vrindavan, and then the next day you're out in the middle of the ocean on a boat, headed for a world unknown. What sort of faith and faithful adherence, right? Submission to the order. And for such a person, then they're going to feel the presence of their worshipable Lord. So, and what does Prabhupada write in his diary there? He's saying, surrounded on all sides by water. You can't see anything with that. And he says, now, he said, so far away from Vrindavan, he said, I am feeling separation from my worshipable lords, Radha Damodar, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govinda, Radha Gopinath, like that. So in separation, he's feeling them, and we can say, by example, more intensely. Right? The adverse circumstance brings about greater focus, concentration, awareness, right? Presence. Vipidakshantu takshashvat tatra tatra jagad guru bhavato darshanam yatsyad apunar bhava darshanam. Kunti Devi. Of course, she's Kunti Devi. Somebody will say, well, what Kunti Devi says, does that apply to us? We hope so. Otherwise, who is she talking to, and why are we talking about it? We say, no, these things, they're only possible for these great souls, like the Grand Inquisitor and what is it? Brothers Karamazov? When Jesus, the Grand Inquisitor, says to Jesus, who can follow these things except for you and some of your saint friends? Nobody. And and being unable to follow, do you know how much guilt they're feeling? Because they're just unable to follow. You and your saint friends, it's another thing, but not the people in general. So, we let them sin a little bit and they're happy. They're handing us their freedom on a gold plate. They're so happy. They don't want the burden of free will, of freedom, of making these choices, these decisions. Right? I think it's called dramatic irony. So these things are there because not that we, comparisons are odious. We don't think we're Rupa Goswami, we're not Kunti Devi, but still, like Guru Maharaj is giving this example to say, on some level, on your level, there's a way that this is applicable to you. That's what he's saying. Move in this direction. Right? Like a true north. It gives you direction, like you go, and how to navigate. All these instructions are there to help us navigate from the conditional existence and march towards Vaikuntha. So Kunti Devi, she's reflecting on her life, pastimes, we would say, Pandavas and Krishna, and she's saying that when things are going relatively well, there's a tendency to become distracted, or complacent, whereas in a time of great adversity, the necessity for remembrance is very intense. And to depend upon, to seek protection, Goprite, Baran, and Palan, to seek shelter, protection, is a necessity when there's great adversity. But here's where it's revealed how advanced she is. She's thinking, so then it would be better if if this sort of adversity brings about remembrance of you, intense remembrance of you and dependence upon you, then it would be better to be in adverse circumstances. Generally, no one is wishing for adverse circumstances. But she's saying, Apunar bhavato darshana, bhavato darsham, vipadaksantu takshasvat tatra tatra jagad guru, apunar bhavato darshana. Apunar bhavadarshanam. Yeah. Bhavat, you know, he's saying, so remembering you gets rid of this world. If adverse worldly circumstances bring about remembrance of you, then it may be advantageous. Right? We could say that's a type of reflection or analysis. No one is going to ask for separation, but it is thrust upon them. And then these sort of observations can be made. So the reason Guru Maharaj was telling me this was because this was likely, and in fact, was the last time, not the last, the next to the last time that I would see him. So he's saying we can have this association through submission, remembrance. And in fact, as from now I'm separated from Vrindavan, I'm feeling separation from my worshipable lords. Baihe Vishajalohoy Bitore Anandamoy Krishna Premier Adbhuta Charit. The wonderfully astonishing quality or characteristic of Krishna Prem is that the deepest region of heart, that deep heart's core, its deepest part is achieved, the depths of that are achieved in separation. And that brings about this utter dependence. And elsewhere, Guru Maharaj has equated it as hunger, like tatra lolyam bulyam ekalam, lolyam, hunger, hankering, separation intensifies hunger and hankering, the absence of. So, the vast majority of any disciple's life will be spent in separation from their guru. So, to what degree is the voice of Sri Guru beating in the deep heart's core of the disciple? And in that separation, bringing about remembrance and increased devotional intensity. Any other question?
Yes, Maharaj, we have some. There is a question from Krishna Pada Prabhu. He's asking, it is said about Nama, quality over quantity. But in the beginning, when we do not have that quality yet, should quantity increase?
That's the opposite. So then that's saying, implying that quantity would produce quality, which was dismissed from the beginning. like a whole lot of wrong doesn't make a right. You know, like by what is it? Namakar Bahiroy Batanamu Kabunoi. Guru Maharaj quotes Jagadananda Pandit, the Prema Vibhart. We're saying the Nam Akar means the syllables, like, you know, Krishna. That is, it doesn't only say that's not the holy name in Guru Maharaj's interpretation, it is never the holy name. Right? So then what is it? Because if it were, then merely, simply by vibrating these syllables, you would get a particular effect, regardless of the qualifications, the mood, the heart feelings of the chanter. Just say these magic syllables and you'll get this result. And we could say, at various times in the lives of the devotees, they've subscribed to some version of this. You know, can you just say Hare Krishna? Thank you. You know, like, not that we shouldn't do that. We know some great devotees, Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj, some others maybe would give children like sweet balls and ask them to say the holy name of Krishna. You know, there's some sweet things like that. But this idea that regardless of the consciousness, in other words, there could be a total absence of Krishna consciousness, and you will get a particular, you'll get the supreme effect. Right? Then somebody will say, well, what about Ajamil? Right? Well, in the case of Ajamil, we're told, yes, about Namabas, which we should remind people, is not Shuddhanam. It's Namabas. It's an Abbas of the Nam. But that although he was crying out of fatherly affection for his son Narayan, in that act, it brought about some remembrance of another time, of another consciousness that he had that was suppressed since childhood. So it's saying when he went out of folly, oh, you know, Narayan, and then he remembered back to his Narayan days, where it was not, he was not taking that name out of affection for his child, but in another context. And even still, Guru Maharaj would point out, when Srila Guru Maharaj gave Harinam, without exception, he spoke about the 10 offenses to the holy name, and that was always followed by an instruction about the 4 types of namabas, to remind us that they do not deliver Shuddhanam either. So he gave 10 offenses, 4 types of namabas, Sankate, Helanam, Stobam, etc. And the point being, at best, giving liberation, right? It means freedom from negative engagement. Does not mean entrance into the positive service domain, which is the aspiration of a true aspirant of Krishna Nam, to enter the service world, not to take service from the holy name, to have the holy name amuse me, or make me ecstatic, or whatever. Remember, in the early days of ISKCON, the devotees had so recently been in the hippie movement that their propaganda was mixed in with hippie sayings. So there'd be flyers for a devotee event, you know, and saying like, stay high forever. Because that was their idea recently. And so they applied it to this, like This was getting us high. Now the holy name. You can get high chanting. Stay high forever. Right? So, Guru Maharaj makes the point, Namabhas can give liberation, still doesn't give entrance into the positive serving domain. Right? So he will say, Ajamil, this remembrance of the cry of love and affection for the child brought about remembrance from his previous spiritual culture, and from there he made progress to enter into the service world. So that doesn't mean one, what I'm saying doesn't mean, so one, you say, well, I don't, have the right qualities, so I'm not going to chant at all until I get it. No, we're also advised with Rupa Goswami and Upadeshamritam, says, giving an example, saying that it is, what does it say? See, like the tongue at present is afflicted by jaundice, so it does not relish sweetness. Right? But still, you're to keep taking, like as medicine, sugar candy, rock candy. And the proof that you're in the curing process was gradually when the sweetness starts being revealed or tasted. So it's not saying stop, saying continue doing that. So yes, on account of the jaundice-like condition of our tongues at present, no appreciation for the holy name. What's the cure for that? Taking the holy name. But again, not that it's a particular quantity, right? But quality. That, what is it in the verse, the song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur about, let me see, and it's in the Search for Sri Krishna. There's service of the holy name, nectar of the holy name, and nectar of the holy name, where Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling about his experiences. Yeah, this is rare, from the Siddha position. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila. He's saying, from Nam, as Guru Maharaj says, spiritual sound delivers reality. Right? From Nam, the Rup comes out. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, when I'm taking the name of Krishna, then some mysterious form appears, and then Nama Rupa Guna means with particular qualities, like we're saying, Yang Shama Centram, Achintya Guna Swarupam, then Nama Rupa Guna, then Leela, and he said, takes me forcibly into his pastimes. That's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes. He doesn't say, oh, today I chanted good rounds. As we used to say. That was a saying, I don't know if it's still there, but years ago, I chant really good rounds today. Which is all right. But Guru Maharaj will say, then why are we doing it at all? Rupa Goswami says, Atak Shri Krishna Namadi Nabhavye Grayam Indriye. That Namadi again means Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila. He's saying, of Shri Krishna, these four things, what are they? Atak Shri Krishna Namadi Nabhavye Grahyam Indriye. They're beyond the grasp of the senses, which includes the mind. So in one sense, it's saying, you can't do this. You can't take the name of Krishna with your tongue, and your voice box, and hear it with your saying on one hand. You can't. Then you say, then what are we doing? Why are we being told to do this? Sevan mukhe hijavaro shayameva sportita. But when there's seva, if it's done with seva, right, this mood of service, right, that means for the pleasure of Krishna, not for your enjoyment. Not that it'll make you stay high forever, right? But for Krishna, always Atma Samarpan. What does Sridhar Swami say in the Shravan Kirtan Vishnu explanation of Prahlad Maharaj? That, forget the Sanskrit, but that for it to be devotion proper, it has to be for him. So, Sevan Mukhi, just like here in this studio, there's so many lights, right? This is what he means about akar, namakar, the syllables, the shell, the apparatus, the objective aspect. Right? All of this, without current, there's no illumination. Right? And it's exactly the same. Right? It's the same exact apparatus, objectively speaking, it's the same exact thing. But the difference between this room being full of darkness and illumination is electric current. When it has the current, that's Sayameva Spuritida. Then there's revelation about the Nam, Rupa, Guna, Lila. If it's for that I'm trying to use the holy name to squeeze some pleasure out of that, to make it an enjoyable experience, then you'll have, at best, some mental or intellectual product. Right. What did Guru Maharaj say in Search for Sri Krishna, talking about firing blank mantras? These are the words of somebody who's realized can make an expression like that. Firing blank mantras. Anyone who's ever heard a blank like they used to use at the race, right? It sounds just like a regular bullet, right? The sound is identical, but no bullet. That's what Guru Maharaj, he's noted for his use of analogies, saying, the sound is just the same. Right? No bullet. There's nothing real and substantial there, because it's not from the heart infused with serving tendency. And what does that mean? Like self-giving, self-sacrifice. Not that I'm going to vibrate this sound and my vibration of the sound is going to be pleasing. Right? There's something inherently wrong with that. That it's as if you're going to liberate yourself. Right? You're going to concentrate on hearing your voice vibrate this sound, and that's going to deliver the supreme reality to you. No. Right? That, what does it say? Pravishta karna randrena swanam bhavam suroruham dunoti shamalam krishna shalayasya yatasharat. When Srila Saraswati Thakur was initiating one man, giving Harinam, he was a spy during the war. And I assume that means like the First World War, right? Because the Second World War hadn't happened yet. So when Guru says during the war, or a war, he was a spy. So knowing that that was his occupation, Saraswati Thakur got some inspiration for like a martial example. And he said, Krishna Nam, remember he's giving Harinam and giving some instructions. Yes. Krishna Nam should be allowed to land in the heart. That's very beautiful. Krishna Nam should be allowed to land in the heart. Pravishta Karna Randrena, this sloka is saying, how Krishna conception is carried via the medium of sound. But what sound? The sound that you make, or the sound you heard from the Vaishnava, Sadhu, Shastra, Guru, Vaishnav. That is divine sound descending in this world. I'm saying, oh, and that's what I was going to say in Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Hridayena, Hriday Balite, means, he's saying the power of heart, what comes into the heart and then is expressed, not from outside you make some sound and then that gives a particular quality of heart. Or if you do that a certain amount of times, the heart suddenly melts. No, he's saying, when what you've heard from Sadhu, Shastra, Guru, Vaishnav, what you heard, that divine sound enters the heart, and then the heart expresses Krishna Nam. That's what Bhakti Vinod Thakur says. That's what the Bhagavatam says. And how Krishna conception is carried via medium of divine sound through the ear into the heart. So it has to be descending. A quantitative approach would be ascending. And what does Guru Maharaj say? Quality gives us relief from mathematics. He doesn't say math actually has some nam ruchi. They don't have to force themselves to chant a certain number of times. They cannot not vibrate the name of Krishna. They're not forcing themselves. So, through the ear and into the heart. So he's saying Krishna Nam should be allowed to land in the heart. And he said, just the way the Navy they have those boats and they bring the army to the shore. Right? Then when they reach the shore, the lid comes down, then all the soldiers come out. What do? Someone runs up and plants a flag in the soil. And then they make a beachhead from there, and they start advancing and gaining ground. He's saying, so Krishna should be allowed to land and plant the flag of Krishna conception in the heart, and then gradually, and establish like a beachhead, then Krishna conception starts exerting its influence and taking over the heart, which Guru said he will claim as his sole owner, his possession, sole owner. He said he will not tolerate any lien holders. A lien, L-I-E-N, means someone else who has some legitimate right to assert ownership over that property or part of it. Saying no lien holders. Krishna will claim the whole heart as his own. And this one relative, what was his name? Sundarsham Prabhu, the teacher, Guru Maharaj, he could talk, get to see Guru Maharaj personally, and he was a jolly Vaishnava type and liked Hari Katha, Krishna Katha. And one of his favorite things was to say to Guru Maharaj, because it would bring great delight to Guru Maharaj, he would say, and Krishna is a thief. And Guru Maharaj said, yes, and it is our good fortune that Krishna is a thief. And they would just start laughing back and forth, and Guru Maharaj would say, because, he said, Guru Maharaj would say, thief needs no invitation. He said, around our hearts we have created bulwarks, which admittedly is kind of a 19th century word. So I say for Russians, Kremlin, but for others like a fortress. Means like we've made Guru Maharaj saying, we've made a fortress around our hearts to keep Krishna out. And he's saying, but thief needs no invitation. He said he will enter for his own purpose. So it is our good fortune that Krishna is a thief. And he and Sundarsham would sit there laughing about this. Right. Bhava Grahi Janardana. Krishna's a bhav consumer. In the last year I've thought, what do we have to give? when you really think about it. It's like we could say it was some kind of generosity that Krishna consciousness being extended to conditioned souls. But is it just a one-sided affair? We have nothing actually to offer. That can't be true. In one sense, it infers some sort of audacity, but I don't mean to be audacious. But it cannot be true. Mam evangsa jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. You know, sun rays are qualitatively one with the sun. The difference is magnitude. Jiva angshas, parts of Krishna, they have to have some value. So, what is the valuable thing that you have? Is not the mind or intellect, right? But heart, right? The deep heart's core. And Rupa Goswami is telling us, Sri Krishna Karshini Chasa, that if it's infused with Krishna Bhakti Rasa, it's such a wonderful substance that Krishna himself is irresistibly drawn to that. It means Krishna, the infant, Krishna, considers that something so valuable that he's willing to give himself in exchange for it, which is a totally lopsided transaction. You know, on the one side, you have a finite giving everything, and on the other side, the infinite giving everything. Whoa! Why not just match the finite? Would anyone complain? But that's not the hand of the Lord. Mahaprabhu, you know, enough for 4 men when he's distributing prasadam. So Krishna, ahang bhakta paradino hyasvan tantra iva dvija. Sadhu bir bhakta hridayo bhaktar bhakta janapriya. He's saying it's announced in the beginning of the Bhagavatam, right? On the first line of the first page, Swarat, Janmadyasya yaton vayad itaratas cha arteshu abhignya Swarat. Means he's independent, which just doesn't seem like the best word for that. It's a word. Not dependent upon any others. For himself, by himself, Hegelian, Ishvara Parama Krishna. But that Krishna, when Durvasa was seeking deliverance from having offended Ambarish Maharaj, and could not get shelter from Brahma, Shiva, nowhere. You know, he's running, Sudarshan's running after him. It's very cinematic. This person running a chakra, you know. But a chakra who's a person, a little hard to portray. Spiritually conscious chakra person, Sudarshan. And because Su, as Guru Maharaj was telling me, he said, is an intensifier and adds an element of beauty. So when at last Durvasa realizes he has no other option than to take shelter of the lotus feet of Ambarish Maharaj. And when he does, he's astonished, and there was Aho Ananta Dasanam, etc. He's saying like, these are the devotees of the Lord. Not only did he not object or find anything, any fault in me, he's willing to be merciful to me. What, Anantada, the unlimitedly merciful devotees of the Lord. But there it's revealed, because it says, yes, I am, Hang Bhakta Paraninos, Yasvan Tantra, same thing as supposed to, be independent, and normally I am. But in the presence of devotion, I lose myself. I cannot but give myself to these devotees who've given everything to me. I give everything to them. I give my whole self to them fully. The finite, the infinite comes under the control of the finite. That's astonishing and wonderful. Sri Krishna Karshini, a drop of that divine substance in the heart of even a tiny, finite jiva soul is enough to capture the infinite Krishna. And Bhavagrahi Janardhan means that's what he's a bhav, a heart eater, a bhav consumer. That's the substance he wants. And if we're told that the highest quality of that substance is produced in feeling separation from Krishna, then there's some hope for us. Because one thing we can be sure of is we're separated from Krishna. We don't have to doubt that. But then we're not hopeless, because Mahaprabhu's pastime, in this mysterious way, the very highest thing is brought to deliver the lowest, which is the gateway through separation. He's experiencing that, and then to those, we're experiencing in another way, but that's the medicine for us. Bhavoshadat shrotir mano biramat. And unlike most medicine, whenever someone gives you something supposed to be good for you, it tastes horrible, like Chinese herbal medicine. They have the guy sit with a big white sheet of paper and a pencil, someone behind a jar, like 1,000 jars on the wall, and they go, oh. And then they bring all these things, put them on the white paper, fold it up, give it to you, you go home, make this tea that just would kill you if it wasn't medicine. So he's saying, Bhavoshadat shrota manobiramat. But what kind of medicine is this? It's so delightful and fills the mind with beauty and nectarine substance. That's the medicine? Parikit Maharaj said, I haven't, 7 days, no drinking, I'm drinking all this nectar. I'm not experiencing hunger pains. Although I do want you to continue. So, in the heart, and as I said, I don't think of him as finite, but just for the sake, because I mentioned this, when Guru Maharaj, when he gives a verse like, Koti Kami Murti Tangvi Rupa Rasa Rangaram, they're dancing, and the spirit, that makes the Mahaprabhu and all his devotees dance. They're in ecstasy to hear that. He increased their happiness. It was never expressed before from anyone that way. Came from the heart of Guru Maharaj. How happy Rupa Goswami will be. And so when they hear that, they can present that to Mahaprabhu will be lost in divine madness. From the heart of Srila Guru Maharaj. So it shows what sort of possibility is there. It's very hopeful. as hopeful as that is, as hopeless as this world is, and that's a good combination. Because we should cast none of our hope toward this world. It's vanishing before our eyes. If we could speed it up, you would see it, right? As we see in the stop motion. It's disintegrating before us. And we have this opportunity while we're here to hear about these divine things by the grace of our divine masters. So, what the holy name, as expressed by their hearts, they have kindly extended us under their guidance. We're going on. But that's what we want to recall, right? By serving them, the purest, the most intense type of remembrance comes, particularly service and separation. Hare Krishna. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan. Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra. Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra. Radhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakti Vrinda. Radhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakti Vrinda. Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghuna. Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghuna. Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghuna. Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghuna. Echai Gojai Gori Charana Banda. Echai Gosai Gori Charana Banda. Gahoite Vignana Shavista Puran. Gahoite Vignana Shavista Puran. Echai Gosai Jar Muni Taroda. Echai Gosai Jar Muni Taroda. Tansavara Padarenu Mora Panchaga. Tansavara Padarenu Mora Panchaga. Dandara Charana Sevi Bhakta Saneva. Dandara Charana Sevi Bhakta Saneva. Janame Janame More Abhilash. Janame Janame More Abhilash. Echai Gojai Jabe Braje Koilova. Echai Gojai Jabe Braje Koilova. Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Gauri Lo Prakash. Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Gauri Lo Prakash. O Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan. Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Puriya. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Puriya. Harinam Sankirtan Kore Narottam Bhoja. Harinam Sankirtan Kore Narottam Bhoja. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Acharya Satara Sata Sri Srimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Saparigar Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar Jiva Ki Jai. Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath. Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Shri Gupta Govardhan Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Jumuna Devi Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Om Vishnupad Vishva Varenya Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Madhacharya Brinda Ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhaktivinoda Avadut Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Sriman Paramananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Keshavananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Abhinava Sundar Prabhu Ki Jai. Keli Kadamana Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Lalita Devi Dasi Ki Jai. Seva Brinda Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Brinda Ki Jai. Nitai Go Premanande. Hare Krishna.
Shri Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
I said Paramananda Prabhu Ki Jai.
Jai.
Double for him.
And Dandavats Maharaj from our devotees all around the world. So Dandavats from Madhavi Lata Didi, Holland. Dhananjay Prabhu, Russia. Tanu Lata, Belarus. Duty Krishna Didi. Then from Tapanandini Didi, Mexico. Jadu Gopal, Ireland. Govinda Valentin.
Jai Gopal?
Jadu.
There's a Jadu Gopal in Ireland.
Yes.
Okay.
Good soul.
Oh, yeah.
Giovanna Valentiniti. Krishna Lata Didi. Shrijita Krishna Prabhu. Dhananjay Prabhu, Italy. Purushottam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Also Madhu Gopal, Dandavat Hare Krishna, Jai. Srila Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Dina Tarini, Dandavat Pranams to Srila Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj and all the assembled devotees. Victor Majumder, Dandavat Maharaj and all
Vijay
devotees.
Krishna Prabhu in London.
All glories to the holy name. Sahadevi Jones, Dandavats and well wishes to you, Maharaj, and the assembled devotees. Thank you. And today is the appearance day of Bhakti Ashraya Dandi Maharaj.
Oh, nice. Bhakti Ashray Dandi Maharaj Ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuveva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnaveva namo namaha.